Everyone can see my slide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My patient is a 38-year-old female, uh, resident of Kottayam, Kerala, with a history of CA right breast, stage 3A, for which right modified radical mastectomy was done 1 year ago in our institution. She gives a history of neoadjuvant chemotherapy, of 3 cycles of cap therapy, and also adjuvant chemotherapy and radiotherapy taken 6 months ago. And now she has come for breast reconstruction. Uh, um, I would like to ask about her histopathological report in order to assess as to the uh, lymph node status, and also to assess if she may or may not require radiotherapy in future. Um, 1 minute. Yeah. On examination, this patient has a 30 centimeter curvilinear scar of the right modified radical mastectomy on the right chest, extending about 3 to 4 centimeters from the midline medially up to the anterior axillary line laterally, at the level of approximately the fourth intercostal space. The scar is supple, slight flat, but flat, and there are also 2 scars of drain sites below the MRM scar laterally. The surrounding skin is healthy. It is pinchable. There is no ipsilateral axillary lymphadenopathy on palpation. Opposite breast is large. Its toe tick corresponds to Reginald's second degree ptosis. The axillary tail is normal. There is no palpable lump on in the breast or in the tail, and no axillary lymphadenopathy on the left side. Uh, I have also examined the donor sites. Abdomen is obese. There is no scar with the excess tissue. Back, there are no scars. The LD muscle was palpable and it had a power of 5 by 5. Bilateral gluteal regions and thighs did not show any scarring. Um, um, the breast measurements were taken of the opposite side. Um, the inframammary fold was assessed on the left side and it was correspondingly marked on the right. The sternal to nipple measurement is around 35 centimeters. Nipple to intramammary fold is around 12. The base diameter around 15 centimeters and the intermammary line is around 6.8 centimeters. Uh, 1 minute, madam. So that's it. So, shall
Okay.
I proceed with my?
No. Yeah. Sorry. I give me your name again, please, doctor.
Sir?
Pardon, sir.
Your name?
My name. My name is Madhavi.
Yeah, Mr. Madhvi. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, before we go, yeah, you've done your examination. So, what other relevant history would you want to know before you want to proceed with, planning for surgery and looking at options for surgery?
Um.
Can you be a bit more specific? You are looking at making sure that this is tumor free, right?
Yes, sir.
How would you
I.
decide that it's tumor free?
Um. Sir. Hmm, sir. Uh,
Hey, you said it. You just got to summarize all what you said. Just the points which are relevant.
yes, sir. Um. She has had. Um. I'm sorry, sir. Should I just summarize the case? I didn't
Not the
get
case.
it,
I
sir.
just want the points how you decided that she is tumor free. That you want, because obviously if you go ahead for surgery, you want to decide that it's tumor free, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Uh, Sir, she's given um yeah, she has had post MRM chemo and radiotherapy. No, um, uh, I, yes, I have no points to show that she's tumor free right now, sir.
yeah, but you said certain points. You will know based upon your personal examination, which
On
you
examination,
by
sorry, sir.
history, by
On,
yeah, by examination, by palpation, by and then by investigation, right? So, what are those points which made you decide that you could proceed for surgery?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. On examination, sorry, on history, I would have I did not ask her, but I should ask her if she has had any other lumps since then, and if she has been on regular what is this um and secondly, after that, on examination, I did not find any lymphadenopathy or any palpable lumps on the operated side in the ipsilateral axilla, opposite side breast, or in the contralateral axilla. Then also by investigation, I would like to confirm she is tumor free by um, uh, by imaging, that is uh, um, ma- uh, mammography, sir. I am not sure of the imaging, sir.
Right. Okay, so you got to get your imaging right. You got to confirm that that's tumor free. That's your first step of your planning, right? Of your
Ye-
consultation, right? And then
yes,
if you want to, planning a reconstruction.
yes, sir.
Okay, so that's the first thing. All right, so if it's confirmed that it's tumor free, right? Then
Yes,
what
sir.
do you do next?
Yes, yes. Um,
Is there any other examination you want to do? Anything else you want to examine? Or ask a history of?
history of past surgeries, other than the MRM. Uh,
Is there anything you want to see on the ipsilateral side or ask of a history on the ipsilateral side now that she's undergone radiotherapy as well? Not related to the breast but close to the breast.
lymphedema, sir.
Yeah,
Ipsilateral
so that's great.
lymphedema.
So did you mention there's any history of any, whether there was or no history of any arm lymphedema or swelling in the upper arm?
No, sir, I haven't mentioned it. I haven't
All
asked.
breast cancer is when a MRM with a auxiliary clearance is done, you must ask for history of that. And in case there is no history, you must measure the diameters on the two sides,
Yes, sir.
for lymphedema.
Okay,
Yes.
so basically your investigation is important that you need to see ipsilateral as well as contralateral. So you do either a high resolution sonography or a CT scan to an MR to basically an MR, a high resolution MR to kind of diagnose and image the opposite breast also. Right? So you do look for loco-regional as well as systemic before you go ahead, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
and very important is family history and the history of smoking. So you have to really highlight that, when you're taking the history first off, because that may have a complete bearing on what you plan. So you can't make a
Yes.
plan and later on find out she's a smoker or something, and then everything goes back to step one again. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Proceed now.
Just one last thing, Dr. Madhavi. What
Yes, sir.
size is this? What size is this contralateral breast? Don't tell me in terms of measurements, but what size in terms of cup size? What size is this opposite side breast?
Uh,
You can see it before you, know. You can see that breast before you. What cup size is she?
uh, see, sir.
C. Oh, she's much bigger than that. She's at least definitely at least a double D. A C is hardly about 350 400 grams of tissue. This is at least 700 600 700 grams of tissue. It's a double D cup. Yeah.
Okay.
We- you'll come to know why I'm asking you this once you go into the treatment. Go on.
Yes, sir. Um, as far as the investigation with respect to the for planning for the further reconstructive procedures, I would like to do a CT angio, CT angiogram to assess the specifically the chest, in the condition of the internal mammary vessels, the thoracodorsal vessels, and also it would help me to isolate perforators in the in case of a DF flap, if for a DF flap, and enhance the CT angio. Uh, then following this, I would like to go ahead with the operative in terms of free DF flap reconstruction for the right breast. Um, this My recipient vessels will be the right-sided IMA. Um, in this particular method, in this particular reconstructive procedure, I'll be harvesting the abdominal, lower abdominal flap based on the deep inferior epigastric perforators isolated. Mm, and
Which side?
this Sir,
Which side?
sir, I could use either ipsilateral or contralateral. It depend upon the perforators I isolate during intraoperatively. There is no specification for the side.
Okay.
Mm, uh, my preoperative marking will be as such. The upper line marking will be just above the upper border of the umbilicus. The lower margin will correspond to the suprapubic crease, or it will basically depend upon the amount of the the ability to close the abdomen after the excision. Then my lateral points will be around 15 to 20 centimeters lateral from the midline, at a point 2 centimeters below the upper border of the umbilicus. Um, and prior to surgery, I would like to I would like to mark the perforators on the flap using a handheld Doppler. Um,
Dr. Lakshmi, what are the two vertical lines you have drawn on the flap?
so these are the
Zones.
these, yes, these are the segments of the flap which are
Is it
classified based on
the
the
word is called segment?
the first segment is the one immediately, the one corresponding to the side of the perforator, medial segment.
No, that's not called segment. There's a word for it.
Yes.
Dr. Millen just told you that.
Um,
It's
um,
okay. Zone. It's called zone.
Zone, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Zone. Zone 1 will
Mhm.
correspond
One.
to the perforator.
Correct.
Zone 2 will be the contralateral medial um, zone, just adjacent to the perforator zone. Zone 3 will be ipsilateral lateral uh,
Correct.
part.
Correct. Go. Now I know. Yeah.
Zone
Yeah.
4
Fine.
will be the contralateral
Very
lateral
good.
segment.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Go on.
This is been divided into zones based on the tissue perfusion after the after we raise the flap. Now the least perfused would be the zone 4, and the most perfused
Yeah,
is
got it.
obviously
Go on.
zone 1.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Go,
That's fine.
go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Mm, uh, this, once the flap has been marked, I would also like to concentrate on the recipient site, because over here not only has the scar to be removed, we also have to decide where our flap would be inset. So we'll have to I would first mark the inframammary line corresponding to the contralateral inframammary line, and place this a little higher compared to the opposite one. And
Which recipient vessel do you want to use?
I would like to use the right internal mammary artery, sir.
And what is the size of the your DF? Are you going to use what would be size of your perforator? The donor side?
Around 1.5 to 1 to 1.5 mm
And the
diameter.
recipient side?
Recipient size, the 1.5 to 2 mm, sir.
Okay. And why do you want to use prefer a free flap over a pedicled tram or a pedicled?
Okay.
So, pedicle tram is going to, I will have to harvest the rectus abdominis ipsilaterally along with the flap, and that is going to cause some amount of donor side morbidity, and also risk of future abdominal hernias for her. And also the success rate with a free flap is higher when compared to a pedicle flap in breast reconstruction, almost around 85 to 90%.
Dr.
So I would,
Madhuri, so if you
yes, sir.
could take, if you did not have microsurgical expertise and you could do only a pedicle tram, which side would you take it from, ipsilateral or contralateral?
Um, ipsilateral, sir. I would like,
Ipsilateral.
yes, sir.
Why is that?
Um, Sir, in a pedicle tram, our main zones which will be used for the reconstruction would be zone 1 and zone 3. Zone 3 should come superiorly, and zone 1 will come inferiorly to form the skin paddle. So we need to have those zones which are maximally perfused, and I would like to use ipsilateral zones for those. So hence
Very
the ipsilateral. Yes, sir.
good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Um, yes, sir. On table first, I would like to proceed with the first the recipient site will be prepared. I'll excise the scar. I would raise the superior skin flap high up, and the intramammary line to the scar tissue would be either de-epithelialized in order to add some tissue volume, and the IMA will be isolated. For the isolation of the IMA, I may have to what is this excise uh, the costochondral junction of the third rib in order to isolate the IMA. Following the recipient side preparation, I would go to the flap, raising the flap. In this, first I would like to start with the inferior margin. I would incise inferiorly and proceed cranially and lateral to medial, and the dissection would be predominantly suprafacial until I reach the lateral border of the rectus sheath. From where I would like to proceed with caution, identify the vessels, perforators, and I would isolate as many perforators as possible and select the best one of those. And after selecting that, I would incise the fascia and proceed intramuscularly and then submuscularly to identify the to isolate the DF.
Where are most of the perforators? What is the distance from the umbilicus that most of the good perforators are?
Sir, there are two sets of perforators, the lateral and the medial. The medial is around uh, 1 to 2 centimeters from the midline. Yes, sir. and
One
they
is a
are
little,
more
a little
consistent.
1.5 to 2.5. Yeah. Okay. And
They are more uh, uh, they are more reliable, and they tend to perfuse across the midline also, but they are harder to dissect, whereas the lateral perforators may not have such a reach, but they are easy to dissect. So I would like to choose the medial perforators. um yes, sir. After I have isolated and harvested the flap, next comes the inset. The flap will be predominantly rotated at 180 degrees so
can I
that
just
the
interrupt 1 moment?
yes,
What
sir.
will you do? You have dissected through the rectus muscle, right? You have followed the perforator to, down to the deep inferior epigastric artery, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
you have isolated it, and you've got the flap now in hand. It is still being perfused, or have you already detached it?
Uh, I have harvested, sir, so I've
It's
detached it.
harvest. So the cold schema is already on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you like to wait until everything else is prepared? No.
Sorry, sir, I would like to wait because
Till
in order for the angiosomes to open and for it to perfuse well in all the zones. So after raising the flap, I'll wait till then the recipient side will be prepared, and then I'll harvest and then rotate it 180 degrees and start the inset. The inset will proceed with respect to three main principles. First is the footprint of the breast, second the conus, and the envelope. The footprint
Madhuri,
of
sorry
breast foot.
to
Yes, sir.
interrupt you once again.
Yes.
Will all four zones A, B, C, D all will be perfused equally? Uh, when will you decide you can use all four zones, and when will you decide that you might need to discard one of the zones?
Um,
Do you I mean, do you think all four zones will be perfused equally, or do you think one of the zones might be a bit of a problem?
Zone 4 is likely to be less perfused compared to the other zones, sir.
How will you
Uh,
decide?
So how, and when will you decide?
so prior to ligating the vessel, excuse me,
Ligate.
I could use intraoperative fluorescence indocyanine to assess the perfusion of the DF prior to.
Do people routinely do that?
Uh, no, not here. No, sir.
Yeah, generally
Uh,
do that, no?
yes, sir.
So
Um,
when will you decide that that zone is of going to be precarious?
um, so during the inset, we will have to assess, and during the inset, we will decide which part to keep and which to remove. Yes, sir.
All right.
Uh, yes, sir.
Sir,
Um,
can I just add a few things, sir? Can I just
Sure,
ask her a few things?
Yeah,
sure.
please do something.
Yeah. Madhavi,
yes, sir.
one important thing as well. You said that you are going to actually see the medial row and the lateral row of perforators. Which
Yes,
would
sir.
be more robust? Normally, in a person, which would be more robust? The medial one or the lateral one?
The medial row will be more robust,
More,
sir.
more robust. Okay, fine. And see, the thing is, no, even that zones that you have actually described, no, zone 2, see, there's always a confusion. Which is zone 2, which is zone 3? Because two different textbooks would describe it as two different ways. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now,
Yeah.
important thing is, no, which row you are going to take. Suppose you're going to take the medial row, the one adjoining, no, so the contralateral medial one would be zone 2.
Yes, sir.
Understood. Suppose you're
Yes,
taking
sir.
the lateral row, the lateral to the our zone 1 would be zone
Yeah, okay.
2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
basically, that would actually tell us what the vascularity is that to expect. Second thing is definitely in no case we would be actually retaining zone 4.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you knock off the zone 4 first itself. When you have actually dissected the vessel, you knock it off. So the next problem is when you are actually when you're doing a DF, Once
Yes.
everything is ready, only you actually your recipient site is ready, the vessels are ready, you have actually seen the flow, you have actually trimmed it, clamped it. Then only we actually divide this. The problem is, no, it's not like a tram flap. It's not like a free tram flap.
Yes.
Here, when you divide only, you will be able to get your the main vessel, no, deep inferior epigastric, to the muscle and to the surface.
Yes,
You're
sir.
actually taking ulta. Other one you are taking with the muscle, so it doesn't matter. Here, because
Yes.
you're actually dissecting through the muscle and you come to the parent vessel, you actually take the parent vessel through the muscle and the whole flap is taken away. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes,
that
sir.
is again on this one. Yeah, go ahead, please.